Okay, so today I want to talk about something that for a long time I was pretty confused on, and I think a lot of people might be confused on, but it's been really helpful to me in my life. So I just want to share that with you, and it's about feeling your feelings. Sounds like maybe it's simple. I think we've been taught things like, don't stuff them. And that's true. Don't stuff your feelings. You got to let them out. Um, but a lot of times when we think about letting our feelings out, we're doing something called reacting. I call it reacting. Okay. That's where we're yelling, punching the punching bag, right? We're reacting to our feelings. And that's not what I'm talking about. But that's one way, we can be with our feelings. Another thing with our feelings is avoiding. Okay. That's when we start doing something else to distract us, right? That would be like overeating, drinking, procrastinating. There's a lot of things we can do to avoid our feelings, and we don't want to do that either. And then another one is just simply resisting our feelings, saying, I shouldn't be having these feelings. And you're in denial, right? These are all ways we don't want to be feeling our feelings, okay? And they're not actually very productive. Today, I want to talk about allowing. This is what we want, okay? How is allowing different from reacting? Okay? So allowing our feelings is when we get out of our head and into our bodies. So we're going to start asking ourselves questions like, first, it's helpful to identify what we're feeling. Like a common one that I would deal with was anxiety. Okay. So I would say, I'm feeling anxiety. I would name it. So what is it? And it's okay if you might not know. But the second thing I want to do is, where are you feeling it in your body? Where are you feeling it in your body? Okay. So take a deep breath. Say, I'm feeling anxiety. I'm feeling it in my chest. My chest is feeling tight. And my stomach is kind of rolling a little bit. Sometimes it'll even help if you close your eyes. Okay. I'm feeling anxiety. I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel it in my body. And then you can ask yourself other questions like, what color is it? That seems kind of funny. What color is it? But if you close your eyes and think about it, you might think, okay, it feels kind of orange. Sometimes anxiety feels kind of orange to me. Or sometimes it just feels gray. Does it have a texture? Does it have a color? Does it have a texture? Is it big? Is it moving? Does it stay still? And this kind of just helps keep you out of your head, because the feelings come from thoughts that we're having. So if we can kind of pull out of our head a little bit by getting into our body and feeling the sensation in our body, then we're kind of, a lot of times after a time, it'll start to dissipate. I read somewhere where we will get these feelings or these thoughts that cause feelings. But as we continue to think the thought, the physical feeling in our body continues, and it's a cycle, okay? So if you can pull into your body and kind of stay away from your head for a minute, it kind of just allows the time to not keep going in that cycle. And then it often will start to lessen. It'll start to dissipate, okay? And so it's something that I think you'll want to try, because it can lessen that. I read where it often, if the feeling doesn't have the thought from your head to keep feeding that, then it'll last probably only around like 90 seconds, which maybe doesn't sound like a long time, but it could feel like a long time when you're dealing with something you don't want to deal with. But you find a lot of times your brain is telling you it doesn't want to have these feelings. And so when they start to come up, it does, it either reacts to them, thinking it's going to get rid of them, or avoiding doing those other behaviors that you might not want to be doing. Or you just completely resist it. You're in denial. And all of those things actually will feed, it's going to feed that. So what's been helpful to me is to just kind of take that time and to get out of my body, to get out of my head and into my body, and realize it may not feel pleasant, but I can deal with it. And as I relax into it, because you kind of relax into it, that it loses its power and it loses its intensity. And sometimes this takes a lot of practice. I was feeling anxious about something that was going on, and I had to practice this for probably a month because I kept getting in my head. It takes practice. But it's something that was helpful to me is that there are times you can't just always stop what you're doing and close your eyes and name it and get out of your head. But I realized it would lose its power when sometimes I was in the middle of something. One of my coaches was telling this story. She said, in the middle of this, I'm feeling anxiety. She said, so I'm telling myself in the middle of this class that she's teaching, I'm feeling anxiety. I feel you, anxiety. And just acknowledging that. She didn't say it out loud, but in her head, I feel you in my chest, anxiety. It would kind of it would still be there, but it would kind of lose its power. It kind of went into the back seat instead of driving. And so I just want to challenge you to see if this works, to see if this makes a difference in your life, feeling your feelings instead of just shoving them away, or reacting to them or distracting yourself. If you can allow the feeling in your body physically and acknowledge it. And we call that allowing your feelings. So I challenge you to do that. Let me know how this works for you if you have any questions. And we'll talk to you next time for Strong as You Think. Bye.